Hello Gary, my name is Akane Sato and I'll be interviewing for Human Resources Analyst position. Are you ready to get started?
Yes.
Okay, first question will be share an experience you have dealing with a difficult person and how you handle the situation.
So in the job I'm in, I've dealt with many people who you would say would be a difficult person, as in they don't finish their work or they're not finishing it on time. They just outright refuse to do it. So usually what I would do with the individual is separate them. So I'll take them outside, bring them in another office, just somewhere away from everybody else, and talk to them openly. So, and they might feel more comfortable as well talking with me in a private area to understand what is going on. Why are they not finishing the work? Why are they refusing to do the work? Just try to understand their circumstances. I will also talk to my boss or manager to get their experience when they've dealt with a situation like this before, to maybe understand why the individual is doing this, or how to handle the situation as well. Once the issue has been resolved, we talked, I understand why they might be dealing with this, why they're being difficult possibly. Sit down with them, talk to them, say, hey, okay, this is what you did wrong. This is how we do it right. And so hopefully we get the results that we want from the individual.
Thank you so much. Okay, we will move to the next question. The next question will be, would you consider analyzing data and information strengths? How so?
I think analyzing data and information is a strong strength, especially in human resources analysts, because your job is to analyze data and information such as what the individual that you're possibly hiring, or the individuals within the organization, what they should be paid, what benefits they should be getting, and understanding what each person does within the organization and what they need to get it accomplished to help the company as a whole, or the county that you work for, the city, whatever it is. So I feel analyzing data and information is a big strength, especially in the human resources analyst world.
Thank you. Okay, the next question will be, share an effective approach to working with a large amount of information and data. How has your approach affected your company?
I feel it is difficult having to work with a large amount of information and data. Usually I will use something like Excel spreadsheet because usually it has all the formulas that you need to work with all that information. I've worked with many things like social security numbers, names, date of births, religious data, medicals, just something that we would call metrics in the job that I work with. It's a lot of data that needs to get compiled, especially when you're dealing with around 700 people across multiple islands that I work with. So I feel, what I've done in the past is just work with Excel, the data, compile to what the bosses need, the managers need, and give them what they asked for, basically.
Okay, thank you. Okay. We will move to the next question. Tell me about the last time you monitored or reviewed information and detected a problem. How did you respond?
I've dealt with this actually recently. I pulled a report that had a lot of information for just the system that we use for IPSE. A lot of the numbers that are created don't have, they have zeros in the front of them, but with Excel, it doesn't read it. So I used a tool or a format to help alleviate this situation. I also got the expertise from our technical advisor to help me with this problem. Because it's better to ask for help on how to fix these situations than to just go in blind and possibly, ruin a product that's been around for a while.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question. Please share an experience in which you present to a group. What was the situation and how did it go?
So it was during in the military, it's called a combat update brief. Basically, we talked to the commander and explained to him, here's how the day went. This is the battles that were fought. This is what happened at the battles. Everyone has a piece of the puzzle. Mine is explaining the casualties that happened, the wounded, where are we getting new soldiers from. So in the room itself, we have the commanders, myself, other soldiers as well. I was explaining an issue to the commander, saying, we lost all these soldiers, we have new soldiers coming in, and the commander said, oh, well, what does that mean? What does it mean that you have no soldiers coming? Where are they coming from? Where are these wounded soldiers going to? I did not have the answer at the time. I froze up. My supervisor stepped in and just kind of helped explain the situation to the best of their knowledge. After the meeting was done, I got with the right people to get the answer. So I learned from that situation going forward and during the rest of the exercise that I was a part of to make sure to have the answers on hand, such as when I explained the next day on the next combat update brief, I said, oh, the soldiers wounded went to this hospital at this location. We're getting replacements for these soldiers who were wounded in action or killed in action. They're coming from this location to replace the soldiers at this location. After that, the commander was actually surprised and was grateful that he could provide me the experience that was needed so I can better explain the situation at hand for the higher commander, so they understand what's going on the battlefield.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the next question. What have you found to be the best way to monitor the performance of your work and the work of others? Share a time when you had to take corrective action.
So for me, we have a performance interview that's conducted quarterly with my supervisor and their supervisor as well, to basically explain, okay, this is what you do, this is your job, right? Kind of just break it down and explain it to me just so we don't forget. And it's all written on paper as well. So my supervisor explains, okay, well, you're doing pretty good during this time doing this work. And then my supervisor above will also put comments in basically saying like, yeah, your supervisor says you're a good job, you're doing good work. Or they might say you lacked poorly in this area. The supervisor will say, yeah, I noticed it too. You weren't like on top of the game this quarter. And then once a whole year has gone by, then it's compiled into a yearly evaluation, which basically says, okay, this year you actually did really good job. This quarter you did poorly, but the rest of the quarters you made up for it, or you saw the mistake. Or they say, well, this year you didn't do too well compared to last year. Let's work on these things and we will come back to it quarterly. For Others, though, for the subordinates under me, we do a monthly evaluation, and usually that's saying, hey, again, this is your job, this is what you do. Here's some upcoming things you can do to try to promote ahead of others that you're competing against. Here's what you did well this month. Here's what we can fix that you did poorly this month. And then basically summarize, okay, here's your goals that we should try to achieve this month, while reviewing last month's eval, basically saying, okay, we met the goals that we wanted this month, let's try to work on these goals this month. And that's just done every month and made into a yearly eval that basically just explains, okay, you did pretty good. It's the same thing I get, except it's just monthly, so there's more paperwork and to see if you're making the goals that you need to do. And then for a time I would take corrective action. Just like I explained in question 1, I just separate the individual from the others. I write them up, basically saying, hey, this is where you messed up on. Let's try to do better next time. If it keeps happening, we will take more corrective action, such as, keeping you in the office later, taking away free time, stuff like that. Obviously, it only works in the military, not so much in the civilian world.
Thank you. Okay, the next question will be, can you provide a time when you work in a fast-changing workplace? How did you deal with the change?
So in the military, we were changing from a system called Emilpo, which is what we used as a human resources. It was a big change because Emilpo was around since like 2010. So everyone was used to how it worked, how it operated. No one really wanted to change to the new system of IPSE. Me as well, even though I've only been using the system for 3 years, it was something that we all understood. After the change to IPSE, I actually quite enjoyed it a lot because it was something new, something fresh. You got to go in there, break the system, which I know you shouldn't, but how else are you going to figure out if something actually works? So we went in, broke the system, told the technical people higher up saying, hey, we broke it, can you fix it? They fixed it, and then they updated the system to fix the error that we accidentally made. So I enjoy a fast changing workplace, depending on what it is, of course. System wise, I do enjoy breaking things and then trying to fix it myself, and if not, then asking for help from above. But it is something I actually do enjoy.
Okay, so how do you balance cooperation with others and independent thinking? Sharing example, please.
So with the job I'm currently in, there is constant cooperating with others, while also everyone has their own way of thinking of how to do things. So we have a big Excel spreadsheet. Some people are on a different section filling out the worksheet while others are doing something else with it. And then we come together to present the worksheet to the commander. So I might have one person updating an award while another person is doing something with an action, and then someone else is working on the evaluation side of things. I am allowing them each to do their own job the way that they see fit, while also meeting the intent that I put out to them, saying, hey, the formulas need to look like this, the format needs to look like this, but you can write what you want, do what you need to do to complete it. If you rather have a formula that works like this because it's better, then I'm all for it. As long as the format is what I need, you can do what you want. And I feel in that sense, it allows others to cooperate with each others to get ideas from other sections, while also having the freedom to do what they feel is right formula wise for their Excel sheet or report that they're making.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so can you share your experience in what your willingness to lead or offer an opinion help your company?
So I was at a school actually for a basic leadership course. I noticed there was so the first sergeant, who basically is above us, was having issues with a platoon sergeant who works below him but is above me. He was not getting a report done in time that was actually very crucial for the first sergeant, and the first sergeant came to me explaining the situation, and I explained to him, well, it sounds like you need a different platoon sergeant to fill in that role so you can get what needs to be done, because it shouldn't be on someone below you to make you look bad. So the first sergeant decided to go to the instructors at the time and explain the situation. In doing so, they replaced the platoon sergeant with me. When I was platoon sergeant, I made sure that my group was taken care of. I made sure the first sergeant was also taken care of so that he can get the reports done that he needed to get completed. And overall, the instructors felt that me being in charge of the platoon was a better fit than what the previous platoon sergeant was, and in doing so, they felt that it made the whole experience for the class and the leaders and teaching the class better.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, the last question will be, in your experience, what is the key to developing a good team?
I feel having open communication amongst each other is very crucial to developing a good team. Because what is a team without good communication? If I'm too scared to talk to those above me, those to the side of me, or even the subordinates, nothing can get accomplished if I don't have good communication with each other. But also the willingness to allow people to independently think for their own. If I don't let people do what they want when they are making an assignment, then there's nothing, creativity can't sprout from the work that they are trying to accomplish. People will be stuck in the old ways. System and processes will never get better. There might be better ways to complete an assignment in a quicker way. If you let creativity flow, those things can get accomplished. And if people communicate with each other effectively, then I feel assignments can get completed in a timely manner compared to if everyone's closed off, doing their own work, focusing on themselves. That just creates competition, but people don't want to talk to each other. They don't want to work with each other. It might create animosity towards each other. So I do fully believe that communicating and independent thinking are very crucial to creating a good team within the workforce.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.